Hi, I'm Tom Ray from the band Lorenzo's Music, and we just released a remix album that features songs by us and by other musicians that we know from across the world. And I wanted to go over one of those tracks today, which is a recording that I put together called If I Was Alone, Dun Dun and I Mix. So we use free and open source tools to make all of our music, and the one that we're using here is Ardour. It's an open source DAW, and these are the tracks for this particular song. And I'm going to start out first of all with the drum beat. So this drum beat here was actually inspired by the song Me, Myself, and I by De La Soul. And that's why I have this little fill. Dun, 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 dun. But my song's a little bit faster than theirs is. So first let's take a look at the drum beats. I did this using the Red Zeppelin kit that they have built into the DAW, and it's got a bunch of different... It just sounds like I'm smashing around on a drum set. Hey, look at me, I'm playing drums. Anyway, that was the kit we used, and these are the MIDI beats that I put into it here. I used a compressor and turned up the makeup gain on it and changed some of the attack. And then also I used an exciter to kind of pull out some of the tones that it needed. So I really wanted to get some of that high-end sound in there. I was listening back and forth, A-Bing it with the De La Soul track just to kind of get the sound that I wanted. There's also another section in the song where it has kind of a hand clap breakdown. And for that, right here, I used what's called the Buskman's Holiday Percussion. And this whole thing it's got a foot stomp. I still have these effects on it. So it was a foot stomp, hand clap that I put in there, and it's got a Cajun thump. But I think what I mainly used was I used the bucket. Yeah. Those are what I mainly used for it from this kit, so we ended up getting this part right here. And that's kind of for the breakdown that's in the middle. So that's what I have for the drums on the song. Now let's go on to the bass. So this track here, I programmed some MIDI bass, which sounds like this. And I kind of went for that funkadelic type of sound for this. For that, I used Yoshimi, and I did what's called a yes sound. So if I open up the virtual keyboard here, it's... So that's that for the sound. And then I topped it off with some fold-over distortion. So the whole thing kind of sounds like that, and if we add the drums to it. And that switches up. It goes into this part here, where the vocals are happening. And then back into in between the vocals. There's also a part in the original song that really holds the notes that carry the song, and it's a marimba part. But I changed it over to piano. And for the piano, I just used what's called an MDA DX10 piano. And I kind of adjusted the sound with different envelopes and release offsets and things like that. Put a little reverb and delay on it, so by itself, it kind of sounds like this. It's got a little slap back in it when you hit it. And I accomplished that by using the reverb and the delay. So to help the vocals kind of go with the melody, the one other thing that I brought in was the original guitar line, but I chopped it up and put it in different places. Down here, I have the guitar tracks, and they kind of go in and out in different places where I wanted them arranged with the song. By itself, that guitar line sounds like this. So that's just part of the lead line, and it's just kind of held out notes. But there is also this one spot where I had to keep the solo. I really like the solo, and it's a great break to the song. And the solo is just kind of a random, sporadic thing that our guitarist Eric did. Now, he recorded this just off the cuff, and at the end, he did this part here that I loved. It's kind of like a guitar kiss. So if we were to isolate that in the guitar track, it would go like this. I don't know. I just really like that part. It's a silly thing. For the most part, that's what I did to arrange the track. Now I needed to add some elements to it that, I don't know, kind of enhanced it a little bit. So I would go back several times and listen to different reference tracks, including the Me, Myself, and I by De La Soul, and I would look for different things they added to the song that kind of were cool things just happening in the background. And one of them was a whistle part. So I added my own whistle part, and that's this right here. And those are two tracks that I did to create one whistle sound, and I used Yoshimi for that, and they sound like this. And then that, again, if I were to bring up the virtual mixing board, one of them is a lower whistle, and the other one is a higher whistle. Oh, it's really quiet when I try to play the virtual keyboard. Anyway, that's not important. It was just that I added whistle parts. That's what I was trying to say. Now, I wanted to add some sort of, I don't know, flangey noise sort of thing, and I tried a few on my own, but I ended up going to freesound.org and finding this one right here. And it follows along with the bass, but it's also got a little doot in there. Like the whole track was that way, so it was just an audio track that I downloaded. And by itself, it actually sounds like this. And the beauty is I found one that was in the tempo that I'm doing, so it fit with the bass line. Then all I really needed to do was add the vocal line, and I arranged everything around the vocal line. So if we start from the beginning, it actually does begin with the da-dun-dun-da-duns, which is the dun-dun and I aspect of the name. So on this track here, where there's the da-dun-dun-da-dun-duns, I ran that through a multi-chorus that is going very fast, so. And then on top of it, I also added a Leslie effect, so it would go as a fast Leslie. You'll hear with it off, it sounds like this. And with it on, the Leslie makes it sound like this. Gives it kind of an underwater feel. And then on top of it, I also added a detuner, so it would kind of have a weird effect on it as well. So I just wanted those vocals to actually be more unique compared to the way they sound in the original vocal line. So that is the remix that I did for our song If I Was Alone, the da-dun-da-dun and I mix. That's on our new album called Lorenzo's Remixes Volume 2 that was released on the Block Sonic Net label. I'll also be making some videos of the different songs that I remix for the album, but on our podcast, the Lorenzo's Music Podcast, I'm also going to be talking with the different artists that also remixed our songs for the album. So you can check that out, or you can go to lorenzosmusic.com and listen to the album Lorenzo's Remixes Volume 2, and thanks for watching.